Hey, Prime members! Have you heard? You can listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free-podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free-podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
This episode is brought to you by Huggies Little Movers. Huggies knows that babies come in all shapes and sizes, and their tushies do too. Huggies has more curves and outstanding active fit. Parents know that there's nothing worse than an ill-fitting diaper, especially for active wiggly babies. Huggies Little Movers are curved to fit all curves, so babies feel comfy no matter how much they're moving around. And we all know they're moving around a lot. They also offer 12-hour protection against leaks, which is a game changer. Get your baby's butt into the best fitting diaper. Huggies Little Movers. We got you, baby.
Welcome back to the pod, everybody. What's lust got to do with it? It's your gorgeous gal, Hannah Conda, and I am joined by none other than Queen of the Mothertucking World. It is Tia Kofi!
Yay! Hello, you look beautiful.
Thank you. We're recording this like Halloween time, so I thought, why not? I'd be a fairy.
Oh, I came as the scariest thing, which is me out of drag, so...
No, that's very... Oh, shit, calm down. What are you doing? Look at us, we're traversing time zones and all of it to be here together.
We are. I do miss
I think
you.
that I miss you. It's been too fucking long. I've been, dying for this, and I even cracked open a Corona. I'm having a beer in celebration.
Lads on tour. Love that. I don't think I've never seen you drink a beer before.
Me neither. It was all that we had in the house, and I was like, I need a beveragine because it's like 10 o'clock at night.
Woo.
So I'm like, I was like,
Oh yeah, it's 10 o'clock for you and it's midday for me.
Yeah, very weird. You're very into the sci-fi. I'm in the future.
I'm in the past.
You are. I know. Anything you want to know? Well, still shit. It's all still shit.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Can't wait for 10 hours time when everything's still shit.
What has been happening? Everything's changed now. Not only are you Queen of the Mothertucking World, but you're also the winner of a little A for the Attitude magazine. What was this award business?
Yeah, that was wild. So Attitude magazine, for those of you who don't know, Attitude magazine is an LGBTQ plus publication in the UK. I don't know why I'm being Australian.
No, go do
or
it.
trying to be Australian. LGBTQ plus publication in the UK, and they have an annual award ceremony. And I won the Breakthrough Award.
Oh,
Which I was super excited about, just mainstreaming this bitch. And I was excited until award number 1. The host introduces to the stage to present the first award, Ed Sheeran. That award went to Elton John.
Oh.
The second award went to the icon Lulu.
Oh.
Now I'm sat there thinking, what single person in this room after Elton John, Ed Sheeran, and Lulu is going to give a single fuck? I'm about to walk up on that stage and get an award. And do you know what? No one did. But I did.
They cared. I watched a video of you winning, and they clapped and stuff. They clapped.
And I
Who
said
gave you your
important things
award?
about diversity. My award was given to me by Mylene Class, formerly of Hearsay, and H from Steps.
Oh, that is actually a good combo, though.
Love them. It was nice because it's two people that I've become friends with over time, which is crazy if you tell 14-year-old me that information. But yeah,
isn't that weird now that we've stepped into this industry and there's people that you've idolized or watched from afar and been a fan of, and then you've got their number in your phone, or you see them and they know your name. Is that weird?
Yeah, it's so weird. I find it weird. Aside from all of those people, I remember when we first met, I was not Hannah Conda from Down Under. I was fangirling.
Yeah, but I was
fucking
I was fuming when I got to the UK because I was on the Reddits and you weren't on the list. And I was like, well, I wanted to you there.
No.
Yeah, and she wasn't on the list. And then I walk out and there's you sitting there in your leopard print and your bloody your face, your beautiful face. And I was like,
I mean,
here we go.
very that I was gagged about that because I managed to actually keep it like under wraps pretty good. Certain UK designers who are notorious for like telling everyone when people are
I'll
cast on
spill
the
in the
show,
tea.
so I didn't use them. But I remember everyone talking about it, being like, "Oh, this person's doing the next UK versus the World," and I was like, "Oh, no way!" And they were like, "Did you get a call?" And I was like, "Not this time. That's so weird. No one called me." Like
So
having to lie your way out of it.
Fuck, well, you did really good because I was very
I full
devastated. I
lied.
thought you were. Yeah, you did. I'm very proud of you.
Can I also just say, because I'm on your podcast, I'm on my best behavior. Like I
Why are you
try
on
to
your
be
best
like really
behavior?
like sensible and be like, I don't know. I
You
just
don't need
felt
to be
like,
on your
oh, I'm a
best behavior
guest on
with
your
me.
podcast. I'm going to be very.
I know. I've got a point. Well, this honestly, everyone, this podcast is really thanks to Tia because when we did the Final FronTia, they were so enamored with our chemistry and our beauty that they thought, wow, she should have a podcast too. And here we are.
I think it was. I think it was more that they went, wow, wish we'd given it to the other one. And then,
No.
like many of the fans of Drag Race, wish we'd given it to the other one.
No, we should have gone to Marina.
No, I'm glad. I've like really moved on from that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, let's unpack that.
Let's dig into that.
Let's talk about that. No, yeah, no. So it's a bit, how has it been going? Because like I've seen you intermittently since the big crowning, and
Mhm.
beautiful. That's so. Do you get to pick what you get, or do they just send you one?
Like all the rest of them are red, white, and blue, so I'm glad I got this one.
Oh, that's so. Oh, you just cut out for a second there. I think the crown really interfered with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, maybe it's all the precious expensive metals in it.
Yeah.
Just interview.
All those precious stones.
Yeah, all of that plastic. But yeah, just really
But
interfered with the Wi-Fi.
because like like not to take it too seriously, but like people were fucking awful and hideous. Not everyone, obviously there was people that were celebrating, and were loving, and we didn't have any time for that. We were out there fighting trolls and being whatever. But I know it was a bit of a hard fucking time for you during that experience of winning, which should be a joyful time. And like I know you had some moments with it, but how are you feeling about it all now? Where are you at?
I'm actually in a really good place, and I will be careful how I phrase this because in many ways I am grateful to those people because it made me so much less cautious and less
Yeah.
conscious about things. Fast forward to us doing Binge Queens, where I feel very comfortable just sitting there going, Kitty, your dress is shit. Whereas like had it been before that time, I'd have been like, well, it's not to my taste, but we live and we learn. Like now I feel a lot more freer to be like real, I guess is the
Yeah.
word. So in a way, I'm grateful to that, but I'm also not in any way grateful and would wish that upon nobody. And the way that I feel such a difference between my original season and versus the world in terms of the fandom, and you can see it now watching Global and like the way that people behave. Like people can make mistakes. People sometimes have made no mistake and will get attacked for things. Like people can say things on camera which might not come across very well or might actually be unkind to another contestant on there, but like let them work it out on the remix, or feel free to express your opinion and be like, I didn't really like that behavior, thought it was a little bit rude. This whole like dogpiling culture and like people feeling like a lynch mob trying to get justice for people is wild. It's like one step short of getting burnt at the stake. Like it's wild.
It's insane. And the people that like get really passionate about it, and they want to call out things, they want to do this, they want to do that. Some of the behaviors that they're calling out, they're doing the exact same behavior while they're like yelling at us or like going at one of our, RuPaul's Drag Race family members. And you're like,
yeah,
what the, like, do you not see that you are contradicting everything you're saying by putting this out into the world? But they don't.
no.
Well, I like to explore, that in many different ways that we lose different things. It could be things, it could be people, loved ones, jobs, whatever. Is there anything in particular that has like impacted you that, significantly in your life that has sort of shaped to where you are now that you think of that, has been lost in your life?
Yeah, I feel like quite a lot of things actually, especially like in the run up to us filming versus the world. I think I experienced like a significant portion of loss.
Yeah. One of the biggest losses you probably ever experienced in your life.
Yeah, of course. Like
Yeah.
two people passed away in very like quick succession. Me mentioning my dead mum almost as much as I mentioned that Soa Muse was wearing my bodysuit in that lip sync. But but yeah, no, my mum passed away, and also Cherry Valentine passed away just a few
Yeah.
months later. And that was just before we got the call to go back. It was really, really difficult, but getting that phone call did help me in many ways focus my attention on something. I think I needed
Yeah.
that something to strive for.
Had you experienced people that close to passing away before, or was this like the first time in that realm?
Um, do you know I had, like, very sadly,
Mm.
I had a group of friends when I was at school. We all went off to uni, and one of our friends took a year out, and she started when we were in second year, and she passed away like in her first year of university. And I remember
Oh my
getting the phone
God.
call. Yeah, it was really wild, and it was the first time I've like physically reacted to something. Like, I remember I was outside the student theatre on the phone on this patch of grass, and my knees just went like
Oh my God.
crazy
Yeah. It's
because
interesting,
it
like
was like a
how your
physical
body
reaction.
reacts. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
I'd never experienced anything like it. That sort of like, when you see it on like a TV drama or something, like someone crumbles to the floor, and you
Mm.
sort of watch it and you're like, a bit much. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
But like
Yes. Yeah.
that is literally what happened. Like, my knees just went underneath me, and I was like on the ground on the phone.
So all those actresses and actors that have like won Oscars for like, their guttural reaction to a loss of a
Mm.
loved one. Kudos to them. They did it.
True and
It's
accurate.
correct.
It is correct. The other weird thing about that, so I did like loads of student theatre, and we were doing like a big show for all the freshers who had started that year. And I was the technical director. So I like left the theatre to have this phone call and like didn't know what to do. People were like looking for me because I was gone for like 40 minutes or something when we were like working through the night on this really important show. Mama, it's student theatre, get a grip. But like, we were like working through the night on this show, and they came to get me, and everyone was like really annoyed with me that I disappeared. They thought I just couldn't be bothered and had left. And I never explained to all those people who were like yelling at me and telling me off. I never told them what happened. But I can't believe that someone couldn't like see like the lack of care and concern for another
Yeah.
person, that you wouldn't notice that there were tears streaming down their face, and you just want them to get up a ladder to like focus some light fixtures. It's crazy to me. So I think that moment actually like forced me to try and be a little bit more empathetic and more in tune with other
Mm.
people's emotions.
Yeah, because did you find that it sort of started to help you gauge when you saw someone else experiencing those things, you could kind of pick up those little signals? Because I don't think that's a skill that many people innately have. I don't think there's some people that don't comprehend that when they see someone in those states, especially with like grief and loss and stuff like that, it's very different and it registers very differently for different people. That there's some people that are just brilliant and they can know that there's something up and they can feel it.
Mm.
And there's some people that can't. Do you feel like that's helped you sort of develop that skill?
Yeah, for sure. I think that is something that I noticed pretty quickly that we have in common, is like tuning into other people's energies, which is actually really unfortunate for you because you have to look after me a lot when I'm really, really anxious. But like, it isn't a skill that a lot of people have to like notice how other people are thinking and feeling. And I do think you're right. Like, experiencing those kinds of like really dark, really harrowing moments does make you suddenly focus. Like, you have a desire to make sure other people are okay.
Yeah. Well, I will always do it. Sorry, you're stuck with me now. But like, yeah, it is interesting. But I find it sometimes difficult when I'm having those moments. There's some people that can't pick up on that. I get a little bit shitty because I'm like, how do you not see it? And I do it to all of you fuckers. And if I'm having a moment, like, it does get me a little bit mad. But then I kind of have to have a moment going, oh, okay. Not everyone operates like that, like, and that's challenging.
It is hard. I do sometimes, like, there is such an energy shift in a room, and like, it's weird to me when other people can't pick up on that.
Audible's Best of 2024 picks are here. Discover the year's top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals in all your favorite genres. From memoirs and sci-fi to mysteries and thrillers, Audible's curated list in every category is the best way to hear 2024's best in audio entertainment. Like a stunning new full-cast production of George Orwell's 1984. Heartfelt memoirs like Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's Lovely One. The year's best fiction like The Women by Kristen Hanna. And Percival Everett's brilliantly subversive James. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Go to audible.com/imagine and discover all the year's best waiting for you.
Your business deploys AI pilots everywhere. But are they going anywhere? Or are they stuck in silos, exhausting resources, unable to scale? Maybe you don't need hundreds of AI pilots, you need a holistic strategy. IBM has 65,000 consultants with Gen AI expertise who can help you design, integrate, and optimize AI solutions. So you're not just deploying AI, you're scaling it across your business. Learn more at ibm.com/consulting. IBM. Let's create.
I'm also very average at drag as well. That's another
No,
average.
no, honestly, I have to say though, like your drag is quite puss at the moment. You have been popping out these looks left, right, and center. I live.
Thank you. I've discovered Facetune, so that helps. But I also have discovered the ability to style things in the way that I want to. That is another good thing because I'm bringing it back to Lost. After
Yeah.
the first run on Drag Race, where just everything that I wore was like slated, and I did my best with the budget that I had, which was £0 and 0 pence. To like get everything together. I was like, okay, I have to work hard at this. So I focused so hard on like the look and like elevating and getting that glow up and all of that kind of stuff. There's one thing that Rue said in the final where she said your quirky sense of fashion. And I sort of looked down because I was like, what do you mean?
What were you wearing?
It was the green finale gown.
Oh,
And I was like, what do you mean quirky? I was trying to do like a really high fashion look. And I looked back and I was like, do you know what? There is power in just owning like what
yeah,
you
just
do.
what you do. Yeah. I think that's correct. Because, you know, so there's times when I'm like, I'm gonna be young and modern, I'm gonna put on a human hair wig and I'm gonna wet it and I'm gonna have like my legs out. And then I just look like a 32-year-old woman that is not a woman, that is a drag queen and that is trying to be young and hip. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to try that anymore. Why am I trying, babes?
No, it is very that. Although I do have a fundamental belief that a drag queen should never have knees. It's
Knees.
the young kids getting their hair removal cream out and their oil on their silky legs. No, a drag queen should
No.
never have knees. Why? Because you should be wearing at least 4 pairs of tights at all
Yeah,
times.
yeah. Or at
Yeah.
least, look, I understand, like, if they want to go bare-legged and they want to be that sexy. It's not for me. Like, we always say just, like, one pair of sheer, like, tights. Just to, or like a fishnet. Just something to divert the eyes from the ingrown hairs growing on the ass crack of your, like, your little corset. You know what I mean? Like, just one. Just one.
Just one. Or no, actually, I disagree. Drag queens should never have knees. No. 3 pairs minimum. 3 pairs minimum.
I like no knees. I hate that. I hate when like a queen wears the clear shoes with the or like open toed with stockings, and then you got like the nutbag toes. They look like little ball bags, like sitting at the front of your toe. Because it's like I hate that. That makes me feel ill.
There's one photo that I could think of. I won't name names, but it's someone who's done a very sort of like nudie suit with like a breastplate and like I think it's a full body, like one of those, and they're like giving puss, but they're wearing those shoes, and they were obviously wearing tights because they must have had hip pads on to give the curve, and they've edited out the top of the tights, and then you get to the shoe, and it's the nutbag toes, and I was like, that just tiny detail.
Yuck, 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 yuck. Not the nutbag. Like, it makes me feel like it makes me feel ill, like on the inside of my body. Do you know what I mean?
Not the nutbag.
Not the nutbags.
nutbag.
Not the not your nutbags. You got like Jordan now. You've been together for how long now? It's not nearly a year, is it?
It's like I think 10 months.
Jesus, because I met him at the finale.
Mm.
Do you feel like you've changed? Like, was there anything that you've adopted now that you previously exhibited before you got into a relationship? Is there any little behaviors now that you do that you probably would never done being a single lady on the town?
Massively. I think there's one thing that he has made abundantly clear to me. I'm bad at self-prioritizing.
Yeah.
So if we were like getting a takeaway, I'd be
Mm.
like, what do you want? And then he'd say what he wanted. And then like 2 weeks later, I would reveal that that is my least favorite food in the world. And I just sat and quietly ate it because I knew it's what he wanted. I
Ah.
I don't know why it's so ingrained in me almost that it's like I almost would feel rude if I was like, oh no, could we get this? And like I'm so much better at it now. It's such a stupid
Yeah.
thing, but it like
No, but it happens though.
yeah, it plays into like everyday life. I also learned that through Drag Race as well. Like on the original season, I got to cast the
Mm.
Rusical, and we got to the end of the Rusical, and I went, "Oh, I'll be this character," and it was one of the three in the trio that ended up being like quite bad in the end of it. And Sister Sister had my role that I originally played, which was like the big role singing at the
Mm.
end. And so I think it was Veronica Green when you can swap. This isn't set in stone. You can swap. And that I went, okay, I'm gonna swap with Sister and I'll do this character. And ended up swapping it. But like it took someone else telling me
To
when I
tell,
was
yeah.
given the power by RuPaul to make all these decisions, I still forgot myself and put myself at the end. It's a really
Yeah.
bad trait.
Yeah, no, but I'm glad you recognize it though, because it is something that's very important. I was actually watching our favorite YouTuber, Luxeria. Shout out to Luxeria. She was doing a episode of Don't Tell the Bride, which was that like UK reality show where they would like
Mm,
that they would give the husband all this, or the husband to be all this money, and he have to plan the wedding, and the bride has nothing to do with it. And generally, like they fuck it up. Sometimes it comes together at the end. But this one episode that I
yeah.
just watched her review, so Luxeria reviews these episodes. And so the one that she was doing, this guy did like an Oktoberfest wedding for his girlfriend, and she hates beer. She wanted like a beach wedding. And she had all these things,
Okay.
but she started to go like along with certain things and being all, yeah, yeah. And she started like serious screams, don't piss on your self-worth. Don't piss on your self-worth. She's like, value yourself. And I was like, yes, bitch. Like sometimes we do as people pleasers, or people that just want to get along and get on with it. Like
Mm,
we like, and I feel like that's why, we're very similar in that regard. And so like, always double check everything with you multiple times because I know what I'm like. Like I'll go,
yeah.
yeah, sure, whatever. And I'll be uncomfortable and unhappy with something that I don't want because I'd just rather get along with it. But then I notice other people around us couldn't give two shits as like they as long as they're happy and they've got what they want. And I feel like there's two extremes, you know. But I feel like there's a place in the middle where you can come to that nice compromise. But we have to be able to speak up. So I'm glad you're finding that because that's
I
important.
agree. I think it's hard in the drag world to meet people who are in that middle place because
Yeah.
I let me be controversial yet brave. I find that drag performers are either extreme people pleasers, and the reason that you do drag is because you so want to entertain that audience and
Yeah.
make them feel like love and joy and fun, or you're so obsessed with yourself that you feel like you deserve to be on that stage, splitting and dipping, Malma.
Yeah.
And that's just like it is very extreme in the drag world. And I basically I've realized over time that I only fuck with the people who are like who care about other people and things like that. And I didn't
Yeah.
realize why consistently I'm like, oh, I like this one, and I get on with
Yeah.
this one, and I know I'm gonna like this one from Down Under. I hope I meet her
Yeah.
one day, and like all of that kind of thing. Like you can tell the people that you will get on with, and I've now realized it's
Yeah.
the people who are like giving rather than like taking.
Yeah, 100%. But I know I do this thing. If I can't trust someone, my arm goes up like that. My shoulder goes up. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll notice it. I'll be standing there and I'll be doing this to someone, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Is that weird?
That's so
I'm like a
interesting. That is weird.
psycho. Your body definitely knows. It's like when you run a marathon. When you finish a marathon, sometimes your body just expels everything because it's like, so it just naturally does it. So that's like your body just telling you, oh, no, oh, be careful. Oh, look out. Oh, my boob.
Oh Oh, I miss you. We need to have a
I-
reunion, please.
I miss you too. I think, I know this is all about loss and drama. I think we touched on a few things, but like, I feel like the one thing that I've gained from doing like Drag Race Down Under to Drag Race UK, but like just living in this world, I have always found myself in the right place at the right time with the right people. And you are one of those people. You are one of the most spectacular, camp, complex, wild, diva, girl in the game, binge queening woman in the void girls that
Yes.
I've just adored. Like, I've actually had such a good time. And I feel like that is something I've gained because, I don't want to get bogged down in loss all the time because, sometimes you get hold on to that. It's, but I feel like there's something I've gained. And I want to thank you for that, Tia Kofi, because you've really brightened up my little universe. And you are as weird as I thought you were going to be. And I'm grateful for that. And for that, I thank you.
I also thank you. I feel like you have like sisters from the show, but then you
Yes.
have friends.
Friends.
And I feel like we have far beyond sort of like transcended the we were on the same TV show feeling.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it very much. Even though we're far apart, you're always in my heart.
And someday you're going to be near me and you're going to smell my fart.
Yes, and then I shall call Art Simone and say Hannah just farted. I don't know, I panicked. I needed a rhyme.
Because when we come together on the phone, we are sublime.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Oh, bitch, I live. Can I tell you quickly? I just have to touch on something that I have lost today that I'm really deeply hurting about. My fabric evil Victorian child wig that I've worn on Binge Queens has gone missing in the move, and I don't know where it is. And I have been looking everywhere, and I cannot find it. So
Some losses are a blessing, Hannah. Some losses are a blessing.
I am in deep grief. I am lost. Like I'm like, well, what else have I forgotten at the old house? Like I thought it was empty, but clearly, or someone's been in here and stolen my Victorian evil child fabric wig from IKEA. And I don't want to point fingers, but was it you? Because I know you've always been jealous of it.
Listen, what happened was you posted the moving company on your story. I contacted them and I said, listen, if this goes missing, there's a tip in it for you. So just get rid of. I'm so scared of that wig. I don't know why.
Well, I will find it. It is here somewhere. I guarantee. I just don't know where I put it. And I'm so different because I want to just, I miss it. I miss it. And I really wanted to wear it today and traumatize you.
No, you look too beautiful. I'm glad you are wearing this. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like just a girl. This is going to stain like a motherfucker, though. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to be like red rash. That's what happens when you wear pink.
People don't know that is the sacrifice that drag queens make. Pink pigments. You will have a pink eyelid for about 2 days.
Yeah, nothing works. But hey, look, that's what we do for our arts. Because where do we love it? In the arts. All right, we're gonna have a break. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna accept some loss. Stick around and we'll see you at the end of this.
Forget one-size-fits-all diets. With Noom, you get a personalized weight loss plan that's tailored to your lifestyle. Have cravings? Food FOMO? Noom can help you lose weight while still enjoying your favorite foods. Noom's users love the flexible approach, blending psychology and biology to help you lose weight in a way that's sustainable for you. Plus, you can rest assured Noom's approach is grounded in science. They've published more than 30 peer-reviewed scientific articles describing their methods and effectiveness. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com.
Bombas presents unsolicited gifting advice. Number 1, if they say not to get them anything, get them something. 2, underwear is a great gift, just not for your boss. And 3, those absurdly soft Bombas socks and slippers you've been eyeing for yourself, they'll love those. And the fact that for every item you purchase, another is donated to someone who needs it, they'll love that even more.
Go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code Wondery for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/Wondery, code Wondery.
Welcome back to What's Lost Got to Do With It. I'm still here with Tia Kofi. She thought we were done, but joke's on her. We're still going. Like we said, we've touched on some of the losses that you've experienced in life, and I would love. Do you have any advice or things that you've done to help you accept the losses in your life, and anything you can impart to my beautiful listeners as they listen through their ear holes today?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult thing to sort of accept loss, particularly when it's a death of someone that is very close to you.
Yeah.
But I find the best way that I've learned to deal with it is just to like accept and also talk about those moments when it comes up. And it can be the other day I remember I was sat with Jordan, and it sounds so silly, but I think we were talking about jacket potatoes, and he said he liked sweet corn. And I went, my mum loved sweet corn, and I started crying. And that's so ridiculous, but like those little memories of like things that happen, you just have to like
You go with
let
it.
yourself experience it. If you
Yeah.
kept that in and didn't cry and didn't like let that moment happen, you'd be, getting all this pent up grief, and you just have to
Yeah.
roll with the punches.
I think that keeps her spirit like going and alive around us, I think that's really special. Oh, well, Tia Kofi, it has been an absolute dream to have you on the pod. Can I ask you a question? Where
Always.
can people find you? Obviously at Tia Kofi on Instagram, Tia
Yeah.
Kofi on Twitter. Is that where they send your hate?
Yeah, if
On the
you
X?
love me, you can find me at Tia Coffee. If you didn't, it's at Its Taste. Thank you so much.
Cheeky
for
girl. Cheeky
So cheeky.
girl. But I was going to quickly ask, would you like to stay with me? I've got 2 questions here from the online people. It's called Healing Hands. Would you like to help heal, or do you need to leave?
No, I'd like to help heal with your hands.
Okay, so I have asked you on the interwebs, on the Instagram, and I have asked if anyone needs advice or opinions or, comments, queries, questions, concerns. And we have a couple of people that have chimed in. And I think this one's right up your street, Tia. I think you'll be able to help. Debug asks, when is it the right age to stop, quote, pants all the way down, end quote, to pee? So I'm assuming Debug is asking, like, when you go to the toilet, the urinal, if you're going to stand up, if you have the ability and the mechanisms to piss while standing, that, some people zip and pull out the little hidey hole. But there's some men that you go in and then, like, they've just taken the trousers all the way off, all the way down to the ground, and they're just standing there, butt out, everything, When does that end? If you're doing it at the
That's really
urinal
disturbing.
specifically, it is, but it's true though. I've seen it before. I walked in and this man just took his pants off.
Oh, that sounds like cruising. I remember when I was at school, high school, so like a big age, I must have been like 16, 17. This boy that I did have a massive crush on, he was in the cricket team, and he told me that the cricket squad had this like trend of what they called schoolboy pissing, where they at their big age of 16 would like piss at the urinals but like pull their pants and trousers all the way down. And I was like, that I was about to use his name. He's got a wife and kids now. I probably shouldn't. But I said, let's call him
Dox him.
let's call him Johnny, because
Johnny,
that's his name.
all right.
I said, Johnny, that's really disgusting. Why do you do that? But like straight men are weird.
Yeah, they are.
I don't really think about it. Like that is for a
Yeah.
parent to decide with their child when they've taught them to piss properly.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think it is for the parents to decide. But I'm also now a comfortable and very open sit-down peer. I don't like peeing at a urinal. I don't like the whole thing. I don't want the garment underneath it to get I just don't want the liquid spill. I don't need it.
Mhm.
So I sit down to pee. But I just say, like, because some pants come with no zips in the crotch. So, like, if that's going to be the case, just go to the door and go in there. We don't want to see all of that.
But you can just you can pull down
You can
the
pull
front
it down the front. Yeah,
without
that's true.
revealing
That's true.
your bumhole.
That's
Do you
true.
want another disgusting thing about peeing at a urinal? And I think
Yeah.
it's because of my height specifically that I've noticed, this is so gross, when I wear shorts and I piss at a urinal, I can feel the gentle splashback, which means everyone pissing at a urinal, if you're wearing
Is getting
trousers, you are
splashback.
getting
Piss on them.
pissy trousers.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, oh, sit now. I sit. I love it,
Mm.
and I feel like I get a cleanse out. But yeah, look, debug. I hope that helps. Good luck with your life.
Yeah.
Okay, Zoe, how do I get over feeling mediocre or unoriginal, specifically as a creative? This is a big one. I would say, Zoe, to be honest, that like that mediocre and unoriginal feeling is never going to go away as a creative. You're always going to have something in the back of your mind that goes, "Oh, this is going to be," especially in the world that we live in, like. It's got to go. Everything feels so quick. Like feels like if you don't keep going and you don't do your content and this and that, you end up burning out and I feel like you just got to ride the wave. We're in the business of longevity. We are
Yeah.
going. We don't want 5 minutes. We don't want to burn so bright that we fall down and we can never get back up. So go through the motions of the mediocrity and the creative slump and feeling less than, because from that, generally as a creative, you'll see something or you'll feel something that sparks it and go,
Hmm.
because you've sat with it. That's how I feel anyway. What do you feel?
I feel like you're right. It's something that you don't really escape. And I also think that it comes from the fact that as sort of like people who create and perform or draw or write or whatever it might be, you suddenly become very comfortable with the place that you're at. So
Yeah.
every time you achieve, every time you level up, it becomes normal. And that's your normal, like that's where it's average. And you
Yeah.
can be achieving like incredible things. Like it's normal for us to have been on Drag Race. At one point, that
Yeah.
was a dream that we wanted to achieve.
And
And it
now
becomes
it's just
normalized.
part of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always like I try and remind myself, and I have this like I guess mantra, but I sit there and I go, I bet Dua Lipa sits there and goes, oh, well, I'm not Kylie. And Kylie sits there and goes, oh, I'm not quite Madonna. And Madonna sits there and goes, oh, when I'm Cher. And Cher sits there and goes, when there is a religion founded in my name and I am the Jesus Christ of the gays. Like, there's always a
True.
level. Yeah.
That is so true. I love that because you're always looking at the person that's above you in the ranks, I suppose. You go, I want to be there one day. And when you achieve it, you actually forget to look and go, oh fuck, I bypassed all these fuckers that I wanted to be like. And now
Yeah.
I'm here. And now people want to be me.
Hmm.
You know?
It's crazy. People say
Weird.
comparison is the thief of joy, and I agree with that if you are sitting there. Like, I can't sit here and go, oh, what's Bimini doing? Am I Bimini? Should I be doing like I can't compare myself, but I think comparing yourself to yourself
Yeah.
is actually really helpful. Like to look back and think, wow, there was a point I didn't even do
Yes.
drag and I discovered it and I wanted to achieve like it's so helpful to tell yourself like you're not mediocre, you're not stagnant, you are moving, you're always moving forwards,
Yeah.
but you just normalize it and it becomes the place that you're used to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I think that wraps up another beautiful episode of What's Oscar 2 with it. It has been a joy, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and taking the time out of your day, Tia. I just love you to bits.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love that this is like a full podcast that people can listen to when we would have done this on FaceTime anyway, just having a
Yeah, I know,
chat,
literally.
which is like wild.
which
Um,
which fun fact almost happened because we couldn't get the Zoom to work.
fingers crossed it did actually work though.
Yeah, because this was gorgeous and I bloody love it. So I can't wait for the people to hear it. Thank you for listening. Make sure you follow, subscribe. We're out there now, so get on board. Thank you for listening to another episode, and we'll see you very soon. Love you all. Bye.